There we go. We're getting ready for summertime. It is so good to be back with Playing It Safe. It has been an entire year that I have been gone. I've done a lot this time. Geez, I've moved twice. First of all, I did a big move. I moved away from the area that I was originally located at, moved a few hours away, and just been trying to live my best life every day. So it has been a moment, and I've been missing everybody. I just had to, come back, refocus. I've been writing a book. I've been trying to save some money because I need to do a lot of traveling with the book, which would be Playing It Safe. And yeah, just with the whole move of twice, 5 kids going on there, it sure has been a while. So I wanted to come back today and refocus because there's been a lot of things going on as far as personally, professionally. I've been having to question a lot of my actions or people wanting me to explain myself. And I've come to realize that there's just a lot of different emotions that come with that. So I had to come back to Playing It Safe, just so I can, it's kind of like my therapy, right? But I also wanted to make sure that if the other people are going through these kind of feelings, that they are not alone. It's kind of nice when you can relate with other people. And I thought it was time to come back. I just needed to reorganize. Still got a little chaos in the background. That's why I'm just posted up in the corner, but I've been making it work. So today's episode, we're going to call it Golden Handcuffs. Yes, I'm calling it Golden Handcuffs, and I've actually been hearing this phrase quite a bit. And what do I mean by that? So for my professional wise, I have been seriously contemplating moving professions. Maybe not the whole professional field, but just moving careers or jobs. And with that comes a lot of hardship, a lot of unknowns. A couple things that are very stressful in your life could be moving, right? That's one big stressor, and switching jobs is another big stressor. And I just keep seeming to be doing all of that stuff. And so I recently bought a house, which, I'm really thankful for and grateful. And now that I'm not near my original job, I've been commuting. So my commute's not too bad. I commute about like an hour and 20 minutes. Really bad days, an hour and 40 minutes, right? But I do it about twice, sometimes 3 times a week. So I can't complain. I'm pretty fortunate to not have to go in 5 days a week. So why would I leave that job, right? Well, I've been, contemplating, there's been a lot of just different things going on, and I kind of feel unhappy. And so I have this whole Playing It Safe, and I've already expressed to everyone that I got into this field because I followed income. I followed the numbers, and I decided to work for a California community college, right? And so, for those of you that don't know, it actually pays pretty well. It pays better than four-year universities, majority of private schools. This system pays the best. And so now I'm thinking about, well, what do I want? I've been practicing that you all should follow what you want, follow your inspiration, trying to get others to explore. And although I'm preaching to, not necessarily play it safe, right? I also inform you that you can go out and do your things, but it still may take extra work, right? It may be that you have to stay with your job while you're still pursuing other stuff. For example, my whole goal was not to have a podcast at all. I actually jumped into this was because, pandemic happened, and I was I had just got all the people lined up to go start traveling and following everyone. And then when everything closed down, people didn't really want to meet me in person because people were afraid, which is completely understandable. So that's why I pivoted to this, so that way I wasn't stopping on that. And the reason why I took a year off was that now things are opening up. I started being able to network again with others, and I'm trying to make my original goal happen. I gave myself a 3 year time frame, so I have a little over 2 years left to get this completed, but it does take a lot of extra work. So moving forward, I'm still trying to focus on like, well, what will make me happy? Would changing my environment make me enjoy my work a little bit better? So I have gone out and looked and done these couple things, and I've been really honest with people. I've been honest about, how I'm feeling, why I'm doing these things, and I've been getting a lot of uh, opposition. And what do I mean from that is that, a lot of the current people I work with are very lovely people. And, a lot of them have expressed that they might have done the same thing. It's just that they got these golden handcuffs. And then I keep talking to others, and they're like, I would have moved, but now I got these golden handcuffs, and now it's impossible. So what do we talk about golden handcuffs, right? And why are they handcuffs and why are they golden? Well, my type of industry, the longer you stay at a position, the more you get paid, which is great. And eventually at every position you cap out. You cap out at a really large salary. And if you wanted to transition into another school or move, a lot of the contracts, you're not allowed to start at what you're currently making. A lot of these contracts, they have limits, and a lot of these limits will be a significant pay cut for you because you're having to essentially kind of start over with their pay scale. And it's just the way the contracts are made, and it's just to make it equitable for people applying, to not have the bias there. And there's really little room for negotiation in this industry because it is a unionized system, which I love the union. I know some people may have their feelings, but I'm part of it, and I enjoy it because the union has done a lot for us. So the golden handcuffs, it's great because it's golden because you get paid well. They're handcuffs because you feel stuck. And a lot of people feel really stuck in their positions. And a lot of people I've talked to feel that they can't move because it would be too drastic of a change, too much of an impact to their way of living. And to be frank, most people don't want to be inconvenienced with that, right? And now here I am thinking about what do I want to do, and if I transition out, I will have to take a pay cut. So I've been working extra hard to get other things in place, making sure, debts are paid off and all these other things. But at the end of the day, I just bought a house. And I got 5 kids, and as many of you have been following my story, my husband stays home with the 5 kids, bless his heart, and I'm making sure that I'm the one that's out there bringing in the income because he's staying home. And if anyone knows how daycare works, it is expensive, so that is a whole job in itself. So with all that said, I've been going back and forth. It's been pretty stressful. And it's all first world problems. I keep saying that, right? I'm very fortunate. And when I say pay cut, it is a pay cut, but it's not like it's gonna be that. It's not gonna be where my whole life's gonna change, right? It's just I would have to learn to live within my means a bit better. So yeah, so I just wanted to bring that out because I know many people have decided and wanted to move into different fields, try different things. But with any of this, anytime you're transitioning into a new area, most likely you have to come in more at an entry level, right? We can't be getting that top pay even though we want to, or that professional pay, because we're trying to go into a field that we may not have the experience, or we might have it, right? But we may not have the full thing that this company is saying that, okay, well, I don't see, I'm your first client. So, why am I going to pay top dollar for that? So a lot of times when we're going into an industry of any change, you have to show your worth and show your work. In my case, mine's more bound by contract language. And that might happen to some of you. And in some of your other cases, it's more of just showing your worth And a lot of it is you have to, charge less to show your quality, show your work, and build up your portfolio. And so, how do you do that? How do you do that with making a change? And how do you do that with a lot of people being against it? And why would people be against you being happy? It is just, it comes back to the daunting of, well, you gotta face reality. You gotta face that you have lots of bills. Like for me, I was talking to another colleague the other night, and uh, bless this colleague, at the way home, he was telling me, hey, Veronica, I'm your friend. And as your friend, I'm just going to let you know this is a really bad decision. If you leave this position, this is a really bad decision, and it's not smart. It's not smart for you to do that. You just bought a house, you got a big mortgage. And the reality is that I've looked at all these things. By the way, I'm not just quitting. I'm not leaving. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'm still contemplating all my choices. But I know my finances. I know my situation. I know what I have to do to make it happen, and the hustle, the extra hustle that I would need to do. Now, most people in my situation wouldn't be doing any extras or trying to transition, in the fact that because of the golden handcuffs, if I just stay in my position, next year is really sweet as far as pay. Get a big bump in pay. All these extras are coming my way. I wouldn't have to live within my means. I can be, still doing all kinds of extra activities with my children and not have to worry about that. Why would I ever leave that, right? And then the other side effect is like, well, I'm not fulfilled. And then I sound like a hippie because I'm like, oh, the energy is not good. And so I just keep, I keep going back to that. I'm like, I'm at a point in my life that I want to be around people that are energized, that I can feel that connection with, and overall just be happy. I'm trying to live my best life at home, which I do really well, but I'm also trying to do it within my professional field. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm giving, I'm very happy that I can give my best self. And if I'm just doing this because of routine and for comfort and for pay, I feel that I am cutting the students short that I work with, and overall myself short, because that's just, same shit, different day, right? Most of us live in that reality. It's the same shit, different day. And I feel that most of us are stuck there. And so, yes, we have a routine in life, but how can we make it where it's a different day, but it's not the same shit? Or you don't feel that way, that you don't get stuck in these golden handcuffs. And most of us are wearing golden handcuffs. Or you might think it's silver or bronze, whichever you want, but there's still some form of handcuffs that keep us from moving forward, that keep us from making those changes. And I will tell you, for anyone listening that wants to make that change, just know that it is very stressful. It's not easy. And you may find yourself not being supported. So you have to think about yourself at this point. Like, well, what will it take? And when I say think about yourself, anytime people hear me talk, I always have to give put a little subtitle like, don't worry, I'm not quitting my job. Don't worry, I'm not doing anything drastic, because the way I talk, it sounds like I might just up and leave and try to go live my best life and discover what I want to do. But I still have responsibilities. So, with responsibilities, most of us don't have that fortune of that generational wealth or other things that we can just take the time off and just say, you know what, I'm gonna discover what I want to be. Most of us have responsibilities, and these responsibilities are so overwhelming the majority of the time that we can't comprehend a change, or we can't comprehend a future where we see ourselves doing what we want. And most of us still don't know what we want to do, right? I literally was in a job interview more recently, made it to the final round, and they were really loving me, right? And I think they still might love me. Who knows? We'll see. And they were like, well, where do you see yourself, Veronica? Like they were really wondering how long I was going to stay there. And so, my response, and by the way, I'm just, this is my personality, so I don't sugarcoat things. My response was, well, I don't know if I can be committed to you. It took me a long time to commit to my husband. You guys are asking for a huge commitment right now. What I can say is, I will work hard while I'm here, but I also told him, to be quite honest, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. I know that sounds silly. I'm getting closer to being 40. I have a career and I have all these responsibilities, but I'm genuinely serious when I always say I'm still trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up, because we have I still have a whole life full of work and, options and opportunities. I just got to figure out what that is, how I want to proceed forward, and what that looks like for me. And I still don't have that vision. I'm still, painting my canvas, as we can say, and I'm still trying to figure out what that vision looks like. And it keeps changing, and that's okay. So for any of you wondering with your responsibilities and you want to change, just know, again, it's going to be a little rough. It will be stressful, but at the end of the day, it's like it might take years. But can you get there, and will that change your life where it's not the same shit different day, right? We want to enjoy each day. We want to be able to go to work and not call it work, and just be able to live our best life. So many of us, again, we're stuck with our golden handcuffs, and how can we break free? I'm still working on that. We'll see how it goes. I can't say where it's going to end up at. All I know is that I hope to bring more episodes our way. I have a whole outline of what I'm going to be doing. I've been working on this awesome book. Where it stands is I'm just, trying to, save extra money to make sure I can make those trips and interview people to be part of my book. I have lots of awesome individuals lined up that haven't been on this podcast yet. I've been saving their journey for the book, but also I'm going to be recording their lives as I progress on. So eventually can start a little channel on the YouTube channel, just do a, little episodes of their lives, and just kind of be able to live that way and explore that way. I think it's really important for, people listening to be able to hear other stories, hear their hardship, but also see how awesome they're living, right? I don't think we get enough of that. I don't think we get exposed to that. And I think that anytime we see someone living really amazing, we think it can't happen to us, right? And I'm a living proof that anything you put your mind to can happen, including, the purchase of my home. This is not the first home I purchased, by the way. I think this is the third home I've purchased. Don't worry, I don't have 3 homes. I'm not balling that way yet. But it's definitely a huge drastic change. I just keep learning to figure out how to play the system, how to play it better. But now that I've learned to continue to play the system of life, right? Because we all know that where you live at determines the type of education you get. The type of education you receive will determine the type of job you'll get, the type of opportunities you'll get, right? And the type of job you get determines where you can live at. You see this cycle? It continues. So I have finally learned to play that system to hopefully break the cycle that my family has continued to go of, I grew up really poor, low income. The areas that we grew up, I don't want to say they were bad, because I don't feel unsafe when I'm there. But I have discovered through a lot of my teachings and reading a lot about the history in the U.S., a lot of those inner cities, the cities that are lower income, they don't, the education system is just really unfortunate. And so I have continued to see a lot of a lot of people close to me or my family members, we all continue to repeat the cycle, right? And so I wake up every day like, how can I break that cycle? I wake up wondering, how can I create generational wealth? for my children. That way they can do that for their children, and this can be a type of legacy that we can start seeing, a generational wealth for my children of color, and moving forward and making sure that they live their best life. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see, how it turns up. I'm excited to live a long life. I hope I get to live a long life and be able to see that. There's a lot of BS going around. If you listen to the news, it's just, it can really be overwhelming. It can be depressing. I do listen to the news just to stay updated, but it's not fun sometimes. So just make sure that whatever you all are doing to pursue whatever goals you want, or if you're still trying to create your own goals, is know that besides it's going to be tough, know that it's okay to have some down days. You might feel sad, you might get overwhelmed, but try to refocus to not let that overpower you. Our mind is very powerful, but it's also very fragile. So if we are not careful or cautious, that can be overwhelming, and it can overtake any progress we have done. So just be careful with that. I'm excited again to be back. We're heading into summer. I hope that you all are gonna be able to do something this summer. And I'm not saying you need to go out and go travel, but take a beach day. If you don't have a pool, go find a friend that has a pool. Go to throw a small barbecue. Do something. Be around people. Make sure that you can, you're happy, you're laughing, you're enjoying life, and remember those fun times, because we have a lot of hard times. So these little moments helps relieve those hard times for our passion. So I can't wait to continue this journey with y'all. Hopefully you can, share this story if you like or subscribe below. And I can't wait to continue this. If you have any questions for me or want to share your story, feel free to send me a message at plainitsafe000@gmail.com. Once again, it's plainitsafe000@gmail.com. Again, you can share this. We are either video, or you might be listening via podcast. I'm excited to be back. I can't wait. I'm going to continue to get some more guests. But in the meantime, we're just going to keep doing some little stories of bits and just talking and just trying to have a great time. Until then, we will see you soon. And I hope your summer starts off well. Bye, y'all.